What's going on, everybody? I'm Kevin from Cigar Prop, and here I am in my happy place. This is the cigar lounge that Jessica and I built onto our house, and it's done. We've been in it for probably maybe about 9 months now. I think we've been in here smoking cigars, doing our live shows, making videos, smoking tons and tons of cigars. Over the last probably month, we've been traveling and doing a ton of events, and we've been getting a lot of questions about the lounge, and mainly about the ventilation. This isn't going to be a lounge build. If you follow me on YouTube, we do have a playlist dedicated to the entire build, from pouring the concrete until basically me sitting here right now. So if you want to learn more about that, you can watch all of those videos. We have another playlist dedicated just to our the humidor build that we just completed. This video is just going to be focusing on ventilation system and how we keep the lounge smoke-free. For the most part, smell-free. Jessica and I smoke cigars. If we get non-smokers coming over here, they do notice a little bit of an odor, but even my daughter, who doesn't like it, she'll be in here and she's like, you know what? It's really not that bad. We've had quite a few people over here, and then they're always blown away by the lack of smoke and the lack of odor. Let's hear a little bit from sitting across from me. Most recently was Fabian Ziggler of Aganorsa Leaf, and he commented on the lounge being smoke-free as well. Fabian Ziggler, Aganorsa Cigars. Thank you for stopping.
This is a real treat. First of all, this has been done. How long has this been done?
Less than 6 months. We've been completed.
Okay. Now my question is you've smoked a few cigars here, maybe a few times. I don't know. Can we smoke in here in the smoking lounge? Can we smoke in here?
Yes, we can. And thousands of cigars we have smoked.
Because I had to ask, because it doesn't smell like any smoke. So whatever you're doing is phenomenal, because I'm sure we're going to be smoking some cigars, but I don't smell any smoke right now, and I don't see any candles or any of that stuff. So I'm sure you got a story about that later on.
Yeah, we'll talk about that later on. I've done the whole build. We have our Rabbit Airs. We have our Inline Duct fans from Fantech. I'll be talking about that in another video. So thank you. Fantech helped us design this system, and they have done a great job. I want to start off with a gift. One thing we're going to be talking a lot about is inline duct fans. If you don't know what an inline duct fan is, I have one here to show you. My buddy, who's an HVAC technician, he loaned this one to me. This is one he kind of cobbled together as like a test, testing on something. I don't know exactly what. But this is what an inline duct fan looks like. This is actually a Fantech. This is a really old one. So you have an inlet and an exhaust. I have two of these in my ceiling. You can actually mount this fan anywhere you want. I'm sure there's a range, but essentially you can mount this anywhere you want. They're not very loud at all. You can bring in a duct to suck the air or whatever out of the room, and then you can vent that far away. I actually have a vent right above my head. This fan is probably 20 feet away, and it probably puts the smoke out another 20 feet in the opposite direction, just so I don't ever have to hear these fans, but these are super, super quiet. But this is a Fantech inline duct fan. Question 1. I want to build a cigar smoking room, but I'm worried about the room always smelling of smoke and cigars. What should I use, and can I just use what you use? Well, you can't really just use what I use, because I have 550 square feet of smoking space. Well, 450, 425 if you take out the humidor. Obviously, we don't smoke in there. Every room is going to be different. All your needs are going to be different. Most people are going to be converting a bedroom, a large walk-in closet, maybe a shed of some kind in their backyard. I was lucky enough to have an air conditioning friend help me design this system, put everything in order, because he is also a cigar smoker, so he knew what I was going to need. But I do tell people you need to tackle smoke and odor. They go hand in hand on several fronts. First, you have to ventilate properly. And second, you need to clean the air that's still in the room. No matter how much you ventilate out, pushing the smoke out, the smoke does get in the corners, the cracks and crevices and everything else. You need to be able to clean that air. And for me, the majority of that cleaning that air is when I'm not in here. So I ventilate using two Fantech FG6 inline duct fans separated into two zones, one zone directly above my head and one zone above the bar area, or where we broadcast our live show from. Each fan can move 260 cubic feet per minute for a total of 520 cubic feet per minute of air. I have about 2,500 cubic feet of smoking area. So two inline fans, lots of people smoking in here. They can move many air changes per hour. Remember, when you're shopping for any device that's going to clean the air, move the air, it's almost always going to give you what it can do in square feet. Square feet does not make a difference. Square feet, you can have, you can have a couple hundred square feet, but you can have it in a box, or you can have it 3 inches tall, a half a mile wide, and that can be the same, and it's not going to draw from the other end. That's an exaggeration. Don't check my math on that. But yeah, luckily, Fantech, everything is in cubic feet, and that's one thing I love. So you got to be able to move cubic feet per hour or per minute. Luckily, my AC guy, he did all the math for me. And then even when I had my old office, which we used to broadcast from, that was a lot smaller of an area. I had a smaller, maybe it was a 4-inch inline duct fan on that one, but it didn't have as big as space. Now, when it comes to cleaning the air inside this space, I have 3 Rabbit Air minus A3 air purifiers. Around the corner in my office, I have a Rabbit Air minus A2 for a total of 4 Rabbit Air purifiers to clean the air when I'm not in the lounge smoking. Like right now, they're all on low, and I have the Fantech, the inline duct fans turned off because A, I'm not smoking, and B, they're right above my head. So I don't want any interference or noise. When I leave here for the night, like I said, I'll probably smoke 3 or 4 cigars, maybe 3 this evening. Jessica might get through 2 this evening. We'll turn our the inline duct fans on. And then once we're done and we leave, we go to bed, I'll turn all the Rabbit Airs on high and let it filter all of this air overnight. And then when Jessica comes out in the morning to have her first little cigarello, she will turn them all down. I've been in the space for, like I said, about 9 months, and only once I needed to use an ozone generator. We were hosting a birthday party for a friend of ours. She's not a smoker. We turned on the filters, get the Fantechs going, and then we lit some candles to get the any lingering odors that we couldn't smell. And then we actually used an ozone generator. I've only had to use this once because, like I said, it's not that bad. Be real careful. Do your due diligence. These are dangerous for you. You can't breathe anything, the ozone in. You need to leave it in the area for like 24 hours. You can't be in here. It's nasty stuff. Hopefully I don't have to use it maybe once a year to get any lingering smoke out, but that is, we have used that as well. So moving on to the next question. Can I get away with just using Rabbit Airs? No, you cannot. My last space, the office that we used to broadcast from, only about 90 square feet. It's only about 10 foot by 9 foot. And I tried to use just Rabbit Air. a single rabbit air in there, and it did not work. It just couldn't keep up with the amount of smoke that I would produce, and then especially when Jessica was in there as well. It did a good, so we started off, it did a good job. Just me by myself. It got smoky in there. When I left it for, a couple of hours, come back. It was able to clean the air, but it was not able to keep up with one person smoking heavily in such a confined space. I do hear people, larger spaces, they work great, but in that smaller confined space, the space that you're probably going to be looking to build, no, a single rabbit air just does not work. As a side note, you need to be able to move the air for anything to work properly. Any inline duct fan, especially the rabbit air, whatever you're using, the air needs to move. This strategically placed in between the two chairs we sit in, so when we're smoking, we're kind of directing the smoke through there. It sucks it up, cleans it, and then puts it out. But if you're on the other side of that room, the rabbit air can't suck past a certain area. So you need to get that smoke from wherever you're smoking over here. So that's why we have twin ceiling fans in here. I tell people to put in, if you don't have room for a ceiling fan, just stand-up fans that oscillate. You need to get that air moving and get it moving around, so whatever you're using to exhaust or clean the air, it can do it efficiently. On our ceiling fans, they're always in reverse, so it's always pulling the smoke up. And then I put the Fantechs, or the inline duct fans, at the tips of the blades, which should pull it up, and then right there at the tips, and then help the inline duct fans suck it up even more. We should have left a little bit of a gap, maybe like a 12-inch gap from the tip of the blade to the center of the inline duct fan. But it is what it is. We can't move anything now, but it still works absolutely fantastically. Let's see where we're at on the last lounge, which I didn't know about. But then when researching this and contacting Fantech, the variable speed switches, that has been a game changer for us in here, to be able to hit the button. Because my last one, I just had on a remote, it was on, it was off. I had no variable speed. With these, I have variable speed slider switches. They're controlled independently, and they're great. I wish I'd have had that before. I have it now, and I can't imagine just having it on and off, being able to variably control the speed of the fan is absolutely great. Especially when we're on the live show. Like I said, we have one inline duct fan above the bar and one on the other side. The one that's above the bar, we keep that one, or keep saying bar, but it's where we broadcast from. That one stays on low, and then the other one stays a little bit higher up, medium, and then there's no smoke at all that builds up. We recently had Ryan Miller from the Rocky Mountain Cigar Show. He was in town. He guest co-hosted for me, and he had a great comment to say at the end of the show as well about the lack of smoke in the room. So gonna be super awesome to hear from JB. What'd you think? What'd you think of the lounge, the studio, everything else?
Dude, I love it. It shocks me. I see nothing but it's just completely clear. We've been chonging cigars in here since I got here, and your ventilation system is leaps and bounds over what I have. Every little end wall thing, and I mean, this is great.
I do see other shows, and it gets real smoky towards the end, especially if they have a couple people on. But yeah, a big shout out Fantech that helped us design the smoke ventilation system in here. So I'll definitely have to get you hooked up with them and see about getting something put in your lounge as well. So yeah, big shout out to Fantech. Thank you.
Super quiet.
Yeah, you can't even hear them running. Do I need to replace the air that is being pulled out from the inline duct fans? Yes and no. yes, you should be replacing the air in the room. I mean, obviously, if you're pulling air out of a room, you're going to create some kind of vacuum. And there's only so much air that's in a space, that can be pulled out. Fantech does offer like a return system. I'm not 100% sure how it works. I know I saw on their website, I talked to them at one time, mainly designed for basements to get stagnant air out, fresh air in. I'm not 100% sure. I designed this with no windows. I do have one big door here, but windows take up space. I didn't want leaking. Air, light in. It's our film studio as well, so I want to be able to control every aspect of it. Plus, windows are expensive, especially here in Florida, so no windows. But right behind me, right over here, is a door. This actually goes out to our garage. I will actually crack this door, or just in the wintertime, when it's actually nice here in Florida, I just leave it open all the time. And then we get the fans exhausting the smoke out of the room, sucking cold air in. I do find it does work a little bit more efficiently with the door open or cracked, but I have also found that it does a pretty good job with the system that I have in place of the fans, the inline duct fans, the rabbit airs. With all of this system in place, I find that I don't always need to crack the door to bring fresh air in. It does a pretty good job of just getting all of the smoke out. But if Jessica and I are in here, we got some friends in here, we do always like to crack the door as well. Let's see. Why Fantech? I see inline duct fans on Amazon that are cheaper. I get this question more than anything else. Any other question, why Fantech? Why Fantech? If you're thinking, oh, they must be really expensive, they're not. They're not really expensive. It's just the ones you find on Amazon are really, really cheap. I chose Fantech because they made the choice easy. This is my words. That is not anybody else's words. I just want to make sure that I get it all out. They are the preferred inline duct fan of professional installers. Fantech literally invented the inline duct fan. They invented it. They have perfected it. Any HVAC guy that I've ever met that's ever commented on any of my videos I've never met in person, they've all go, kudos for not cheaping out. Kudos for going with the best. Their fans work. They're easy to install. From what I saw of my guy installing them, it looks like I could have done it. Like I said, it looked pretty simple. But I say that I still didn't install them because I have a friend that does it. They provide support if you need it. I had some questions pre and post installation, and they answer their phones. They literally answer their phones. They send emails. They send what I almost got a little emotional there for a second. They send follow-up emails. You talk to them on the phone. You're having an issue or you have a question. They'll get your email. They'll do their best to answer their question. If someone else needs to talk to you, they will. And then after it's all done, hey, how are things going? Did you get that problem resolved? And that's unheard of in today's customer service industry, it seems like. They also make every component I needed for the complete installation. I didn't have to get fans from here, grills from here, switches from here. They make everything. They sell everything that I needed. The FG6 fans, the MGE6 metal exhaust grills, and the IPF05 speed controllers are all Fantech products. And speaking of grills, I can't believe I didn't mention it before. was the intake grill. You can adjust it, screw it up, screw it down, make the opening wider, narrower, depending on how many people are in the room, how much smoke or whatever that you want to exhaust out. That is a super, super cool function, and I do utilize that. If we've got a group of people over here, I definitely open them up all the way. And then the majority of the other time, they are a lot narrower, more closed, but still open to allow the air to come on or come through. And since we're on the topic of price, that goes for the Rabbit Airs as well. Yeah, they make cheaper ones on Amazon, just like everything else. But when it comes to electronics, which that's what that is. We all want and buy the best TVs that we can. We buy the best appliances for our kitchen that we can. Why not buy the best thing that cleans the air you breathe? This isn't just a TV. It's not a toaster. This thing cleans the air that we breathe, that when our kids, they don't come out here very often, because this is our sanctuary. But the air they breathe, our dogs are always in here. It's the air they breathe. Why cheap out and buy something cheap? Save your money. Maybe don't buy cigars. Don't buy any cigars for a month or two, and then save up and get yourself a Rabbit Air. Save up, get a Fantech Inline Duct fan. Get the cool switches. Get the good grills. Get everything. And you only had to buy it once. It's going to last forever, and you don't have to keep buying things over and over again. I'm not the kind of person that buys cheap and then turns around and regrets it and ends up spending more money buying the thing I should have got in the first place. I used to be that person a long time ago. I've learned since then. Just spend the money, get the good stuff right from the beginning, and you won't be sorry. Hopefully these answered all your questions. These are my most popular ones. This isn't a paid sponsorship. If you look in the video links, there's not going to be any links. I'll put a link to Rabbit Air's website. It's not an affiliate link. You can see that. Same with Fantech. You can check out their website. They don't sell to consumers. So you either have to have a professional installation, or there are some third-party websites, some online that do sell Fantech components to the general public along with contractors. But on Fantech's website, they don't sell anything. But the website's really great, informative, and it's not just exhaust for cigars. It's bathroom exhaust fans. I mentioned earlier, like fresh air ventilation systems for basements. It's dryer ducting booster fans. They have a whole bunch of stuff, but like I said, not an affiliate link. If you click on it, I'm not making any money, so don't think that this was a big push just for Fantech, Rabbit Air, or I mentioned that little ozone. Ozone. That stuff can be dangerous, so don't be playing around with the ozone. But yeah, if you have any questions, anything I left out, I have no problem making another video. I'll try and answer any questions I can in the comment section. Please leave a comment, because if you want to send me an email, kevin@cigarprop.com, that's fine. But if you have a question, there's probably somebody out there that's going to have that same question. So leave the question, and that way I'll try my best to answer any questions in the comment section. If it's something that I need to address, how hard to type out, like I said, I have no problem making another video. I'm sure I'm going to have more questions. Maybe I'll do another one, answer 2 or 3 more questions. But hopefully this has been informative. This will pretty much cap off our entire build. It's been 2.5 years of a long process. And thank you to everybody. I couldn't have done this myself. It's either the people following me people supporting our advertisers and sponsors for our live show along the way. It's people buying product from us that has allowed us to put money and build this. It's all the contractors that have reached out to me during this whole process. Hey, don't forget to do this. Don't forget to do that. And we made this place absolutely incredible. So it's every bit of yours, as I want to say that. But it's not true. I want to say it's every bit of yours as it is mine. It's 100% mine. But it's still, if you're in the area, you can still come in for free and smoke a cigar with me. Thank you. Thank you so much. And like I said, any questions, leave them in the comments down below. And we'll end on the old one, the cigar prop. Make sure you give your cigars the props they deserve.